Hey everyone, this is PJ Ferguson, founder of the Peace on Earth movement. I want to welcome you to the first ever Inner Peace podcast. This podcast is going to be a little bit longer than normal just because I want to introduce myself, introduce you to the Peace on Earth movement, to Inner Peace podcast, and also leave you with a little message about doing things that you know you should even when you're not in the mood. Greetings. What is the Peace on Earth movement? The Peace on Earth movement is a grassroots community of people who believe in peace strongly enough to do something about it. And right now, we're a very small group of people who are interested in peace, and we don't have a lot going on right now. We just started. So I want to welcome you to the very beginning and thank you for being here, because it's your participation and support that's going to help us grow and spread to as many people as possible on this beautiful planet of ours. You can see some palm trees in the back, some other beautiful pine trees. I thought I would do this first podcast in a beautiful park setting. I'll do as many of them as possible in a place like this if I can, so you're not staring at a blank wall or something. So anyway, I started the Peace on Earth movement because I've been doing peace and happiness stuff, writing books, doing podcasts, blog posts, all that kind of stuff for years, and I want to reach more people. So I wanted to start something that we could all share together, rather than it being all about me or using my name or that kind of stuff. I wanted a platform that we could all stand on and share together. And considering the political climate over the last few years and decades, it just feels like things seem to keep on getting worse and worse, especially in the last couple of years. And we're still at war. At least in the United States, and there's just the setting of war that is really unsettling. And politics don't seem to favor the people of the world, really. It seems to favor just a few people, and I really don't agree with that approach. Not to politics, not to living. So I thought, why not start a movement of people who believe in peace, who support peace, who live in peace, or at least do our best to. And I think that there's way more people who want peace on this planet. And this movement is kind of to help us prove it to each other that, yeah, there's more people around who actually want a good life. They want to be left alone to do their thing. They aren't really primarily interested in hatred or bigotry. Mostly, I think people really just want to be left in peace, to live a good life, and have the same for the people that they love. And I feel like if we can band together just so that we understand that, hey, yeah, there's lots of people who want peace. Mostly what we tend to see on TV and in politics is strife, upheaval, wars either happening or about to happen. And I think that is what the few people who want war, they want us to see that, because there's a few people and individuals, organizations who want war because it's profitable for them. And again, I don't agree with that. I don't think that war is the way to live a good life or to be happy. I think that peace is the way, happiness is the way, kindness and compassion are the way. And I actually believe that most people feel the same. And so that's the reason I started the Peace on Our Earth movement. So I hope that you'll jump on board. I hope that you'll share your thoughts, your opinions, your stories with me and with everybody else who is going to participate, so that we can understand, yeah, life is tough. There's some really crappy things going on in the world. But I think that we have the power to make things good and to keep things good and to move the world in a direction that we deep down want to see happen, because we have that power. And so, again, that's why I started this movement, and I hope that you'll join us. Now, when people tend to think of world peace, they tend to think of these gigantic sweeping initiatives that just take lots of money, lots of time, lots of effort, lots of people. And I actually think that world peace happens the other way. It starts individually with enough people creating peace, living in peace themselves, and that when there are enough of those people in this world, that peace happens worldwide, naturally, and organically. And that is going to be my approach. That's why I'm doing the Inner Peace podcast, is because I feel really passionate about spreading happiness. I think most of us know what we need to do to be happy and to do what's right, to have inner peace. But it's tough in this world to do what we know what we should. There's a lot of resistance, both internally, like we know, I know I should have done better. But well, I didn't. Just because we've got these other urges that kind of fight against ourselves, that maybe sabotage the good things that we try to do. And so that's another reason why I want to have this Peace on Earth movement, because that it's going to be a group of people, a community online and in person, of people who are trying to live good lives and could really use that support. I think we can support each other by sharing our stories, by saying kind words, building each other up. And so that's what I would really love for this community to be too, is a thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people who are supporting each other in living a good life. So that's a bit about the Peace on Earth movement. It's just beginning again. There's lots of great stuff that I have planned, and as we grow and as we get more support for these different initiatives, we're going to roll them out and provide as many ways as possible for as many people as possible to have peace, happiness, and joy in their lives. So a little bit about the Inner Peace podcast. Again, I want these to be short. I'm hoping 5 minutes or less for these. They're going to be, it's a vlog and a podcast, whichever way you like to connect. Podcasts are really nice because you can download them on your phone and just listen while you're working out, going for a walk, or meditating in the morning or at night. But again, videos are a little bit more interactive. You can see my ugly mug and interact with a human face. These are going to be posted on YouTube and a few other places. So wherever you like to hang out, I hope that we can hang out together. Now, each podcast is going to focus on one topic that is designed to help you focus on something positive, uplifting. And as you focus on these positive messages, again, I want to keep them very simple, because that's all it takes, is putting your attention on a simple but positive topic. And the more attention you give to that topic throughout the day, as you go throughout the day. And I'm writing a book actually with a system that will help you have some different ideas. So we'll have a book, we'll have the podcast, the vlog. I'm actually going to develop the book into a phone app. All these different ways that, however you like to connect, that you can connect with positivity, peaceful messages, bring more joy and happiness into your life every single day in short, simple, digestible bits. So again, your focus becomes your reality. So let your focus be on something positive, uplifting, and something that brings you joy. So today's message, again, I kind of alluded to it a little bit, is doing things that you know you should, even if you don't feel like it. So just as my example, I'll use myself and this video, this podcast. I actually have this enormous fear of speaking in front of people. I know it's ridiculous, but as a person who has you came from low self-esteem, I just feel very nervous speaking in front of people. Even if it's talking in front of a camera, I know people are going to be watching it. Like, okay. So I really drag my heels anytime it's time to do a video. But what comes to my mind is this funny little quote from the movie The Gladiator. And Russell Crowe is talking to his servant guy, and he asks him, do you ever do what you want to do? And the guy responds, it's like, sometimes I do what I want to do, but mostly I do what I have to. And I think a lot of times we feel stuck between a rock and a hard place of, a lot of times we feel like we're stuck just doing things that we think we have to. We feel like I got to do that. I have to. Versus the things that we want to. And when we start doing the things we want to, we find there might be some resistance to it. And usually the resistance is some kind of a fear or insecurity that we have about something. And I think the the tool I want to share today is the point is that you look at the bigger picture of, okay, I'm not creating a video. What I'm doing is trying to spread peace and support other people in creating peace for themselves. That's way more important to me than my fear or insecurity of speaking in front of people. And so I just kind of bite the bullet. I'm very gentle with myself, of kind of baby stepping my way towards, okay, I'm going to drop some notes. I'm going to have a little outline of what I'll talk about. Sometimes I think through, what am I going to say? I like my videos to be kind of off the cuff, me just speaking from me to you, rather than planned out and reading a script. But as just part of helping me prepare for speaking and getting over the nervousness, I kind of baby step my way. So try doing the same with yourself. What are some things that you may have been avoiding that you feel like, yeah, I really need to do that? Look at the bigger picture. What are you actually doing? The one thing that's stopping you, maybe it's just one little thing that's stopping you from doing what you really want to or feel like you should. And look at the bigger picture and say, well, that's what I'm doing. It's not all about this one little microscopic part. It's actually this bigger thing I'm doing, and that's what I want. That's what I love. That's what my heart is calling me to do. Focus on that. And then if you need to, just baby step yourself to that point where you can actually do it. So I would like for you to make a note to yourself. And I'm a big fan of writing things down. So if you have a place where you can write it down, whether it's on your phone, a tablet, or pen and paper, write down something that you've been avoiding, something that you feel is a priority, but maybe you've been avoiding it. And write down what is the bigger picture of what you're trying to accomplish and what you're creating, what you're doing, and sit with that bigger picture for a while and let that sink in so that you feel strongly and passionately about that and say, that's what I'm doing. I'm creating a dream of mine. I'm doing something important. And then if you need to baby step your way towards it, do it. Do it just very consistently, get closer and closer. Let go of those fears, let go of the insecurities, speak lovingly and supportively towards yourself, and go do that thing that you have really been wanting to do. Because you know what? It's a good thing, I'm sure, and the world needs it, and you will create happiness and peace for yourself having done it, rather than sitting there in that, I don't want to, kind of a space that steals your peace. Get yourself over that hump. And most of the time, the first time you do it, that's all you need. The rest of them is going to be easy. So I'm sending you love and encouragement. I am wishing for kindness and compassion for you in your life. And maybe the next person you meet, you can create peace and joy for them. All the best, and I will see you at the next Inner Peace podcast.